Hey everybody, I'm the Ranting Monkey, and with me tonight, as always, is Scribe. Say hi, Scribe.
Hi, Scribe.
And the lovely SDA is joining us as well. Say hello.
Hi.
Guys, we were talking with some of you in Discord yesterday, and we were asking what you thought you could do to improve the show, and it was pretty unanimous that it was pretty unanimous that we might be spending a little too much time on the news. So we're gonna try to scale that back a little bit for you guys, but bear with us, as one of the reasons we started doing news, god damn it.
Can you speak clearly, monkey?
This is one of the reasons we have Scribe do news, because I can't fucking talk. No, one of the reasons we started doing so much was because we had too much dead air, and it's a good way to go and talk about stuff. But we're going to scale it back. But bear with us as we do that, because we're fucking with the formula here, and we don't want to fuck it up too bad.
I think the real message is people don't like listening to me talk as much.
Oh no, it's
well,
not
that could definitely be it.
You know what? Actually, the other thing they said is that they really, really love when you and SDA bicker.
Aha.
So we need to find a reason for you two to fight more.
Don't we come up with enough reasons on our own?
Apparently not. We need
I
more
don't
of it.
think we need help.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that if we're left to our own devices, we'll bicker plenty.
We do have at least two major news stories, so should we jump into those? Scribbles?
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure.
I've got two stories related to the Comey saga. The first one is just kind of going over what was said and how the hearing went down. The other one is a analysis of what it actually means legally.
Wouldn't it be an analysis?
Idaho?
She's fucking with you already.
I'm not.
All right.
He said a analysis. Stop that.
Hey, before we jump into that, on the Discord server, people thought they found a GIF. Sorry, I know people get mad. A GIF of SDA shaking her ass in just her underwear. It's not her, but it does kind of look like her. If you guys want to look it up. But anyway, I'm sorry. That's my big news of the night.
Are you calling her fat? What?
Oh, god damn you. Stop getting me in trouble. You motherfucker.
That's my big news for the night. Well, okay. Emphasis on big. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so the big news, if you want to call it news today, was James Comey testifying before the committee. And as soon as after I read the opening statement and stuff from yesterday, I was like, this is a big load of nothing. I'll save my thoughts on it till later. But anyway, fired FBI Director James Comey saw a tweet from President Donald Trump and made a decision that would have untold ramifications. Quote, James Comey better hope there are no tapes of our conversations before he starts leaking to the press, Trump tweeted on the morning of May 12th. It was that tweet, Comey told the Senate Intelligence Committee Thursday, that spurred him to leak contents of his memos documenting interactions with the president to the press. Quote, the president tweeted on Friday after I got fired that I better hope there's not tapes, Comey said. I woke up in the middle of the night on Monday night because it didn't dawn on me originally that there might be corroboration of our conversation. There might be a tape. Comey, who wrote memos after his meetings with Trump, had shared the documents with fellow FBI officials. Asked during the Senate hearing if he shared the memos elsewhere, Comey explained he asked a, quote, good friend who is a, quote, professor at Columbia Law School to be an intermediary with the press. My judgment was I needed to get that out into the public square, so I asked a friend of mine to share the content of the memo with a reporter. Okay, I don't care about the process. What did he actually say?
Yeah.
Oh, the story doesn't tell me that. Oh, thanks a lot, CNN. This is your headline story, and you don't actually talk about the story. Jerkwads. Okay, is there a story that actually has the story in it? White House. Okay, maybe this has it. Let's see. Accusations of lying whizzed across Washington Thursday as fired FBI Director James Comey concluded his bombshell session on Capitol Hill. What bombshell?
Exactly. It was a bunch of hype with nothing really there. We literally didn't learn anything new.
Okay, you know what? CNN is Joey Sparkles with the fucking Daddy 05 here with this story, because they're putting out story after story that have nothing. Joey Sparkles, whatever her name is.
Yes, Joey Sparkles BS.
I didn't know it was Joey, Joe, whatever. Anyway,
No, you did fine.
so this is the second story I've gone to about the Comey testimony that doesn't have anything about the testimony in it. They are spamming themselves all over. Okay, get me to the point where you tell me what he said.
Thank you, Point Curation. Point says RMSL SDA, that would be the three of us. Stream has less fake news than CNN.
Well, all I do is read CNN, so.
Yes, but then we break it down and point out where it's stupid.
All right, let's see. Do we have it here? All right, maybe I do. He said the president never told Comey. This is the White House responding to what Comey supposedly said. Oh, for God's sake, CNN, you suck. I'm just going to go to the analysis part of it because really, nothing has changed about what has been asserted in the first place. Trump asked for loyalty. Trump said to the effect of, I hope you can let this Flynn thing go. And what was the third one? There was a third thing. Oh, he wanted Comey to say that he wasn't being investigated. Right. He done nothing wrong. I didn't do nothing. Okay. So here's an opinion piece. So just to predicate, it is an opinion piece from the Washington Post. What Comey described wasn't obstruction of justice, and here's why. James B. Comey's testimony Thursday before the Senate Intelligence Committee will no doubt embolden those who believe we already know enough to conclude that President Donald Trump obstructed justice by leaning on the then FBI director to halt a criminal investigation of Michael Flynn. But nothing that Comey said alters the fact that his claims remain flatly flawed in two critical respects. It overlooks both a requirement for corrupt intent and the principle of executive discretion. It is true that federal statutes criminalizing obstruction of the administration of law, including by agencies such as the FBI, cite not only actual interference with an investigation, but attempts to do so as well. That is, the fact that the investigation of Flynn, a close Trump campaign advisor who would briefly serve as his national security advisor, was never actually shut down, cuts against the case for obstruction. But it is not dispositive. But the arguments for presidential obstruction here tend to omit the statute's most important word, corruptly. Not every form of interfering with an investigation, or even closing down of an investigation, is felony obstruction, only corrupt ones. Prosecutors must prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the accused not only acted intentionally, but also with an awareness that his actions violated the law. And I was thinking about this when I was walking home from work today, because I knew we'd eventually talk about the story. And we talked about this previously. Okay, Trump is not a politician. He has no previous public service experience. All his experience in being a leader or running stuff has been as a businessman.
Yes.
So he is, now, I want to stress, this is not an excuse for his behavior, but it is a reason for his behavior. What he has been saying, or at least what he is asserted to have said, sounds like something, as we talked about last night, that a businessman would say, that a boss would say to an employee or to a department head or whatever.
Yeah. In business, there's an advantage to being a little bit pushy. And by a little bit, I'm vastly understating that there.
Yes.
Go into a meeting, you need to be assertive. Otherwise, you're going to be walked all over.
Right. Now, the fact of the timing of Comey's firing is still sketchy. There's no doubt about that. However, here's what I was thinking, and I'm sure this has been said elsewhere, but it just came to my mind. It is entirely possible that these little moments that Comey's talking about between the loyalty ask and the Flynn let go thing and all this other stuff, these might have all been gentle toes in the water by Trump to see if Comey was on his team without directly telling him to do anything directly. Now, it's entirely possible that after poking Comey enough times and figuring out that Comey wasn't on board, then Trump decided to fire him because he obviously wasn't going to be helpful one way or the other. And he used the thing that happened last summer as just sort of the excuse.
One of the things that people...
hold on real quick. The thing is, though, outside of these Comey revelations, you cannot prove, unless there's some other evidence out there, you cannot prove Trump's intent was to try to manipulate him towards doing something illegal. And so absent intent, absent proof that he was actually trying to obstruct justice, as this article says, you may suspect, and I suspect that it's possible that Trump was testing the waters. Comey didn't respond. And so Trump's like, this guy's not going to be helpful in the long run. Let's get rid of him. How can we do that legally? Oh, he did something lousy last summer and it conflicted with his abilities to do his job. Okay, the end. That may be true, but it's not illegal.
The thing I wanted to bring up is that unlike most cabinet heads, the FBI is not a cabinet head, and that is a tenure position.
Mm-hmm.
Trump is very, very big on loyalty. I mean, if you ever watched the Apprentice, he talked about it a lot. He expects loyalty from his people. Well, he didn't get to pick Comey.
Right.
So I think that was eating at him. And some of Comey's answers, if we believe the memos he wrote himself, I can see why Donald would be like, I don't trust this guy. Still not a good reason to fire him, Donald.
No.
That's actually a shitty reason to fire him.
Yeah, and loyalty amongst presidential staff is nothing new. If you want to look back and see loyalty to its most ridiculous extreme, go back to the Bush administration. I'm talking about George W. And look at who he put up as a Supreme Court nomination. His own personal lawyer, Harriet Mier.
Yes.
Okay, and plus the fact that Condoleezza Rice retained a position in the White House after failing on 9/11, after so many people in his administration completely dropped the ball left, right, and center all the time. If they were loyal, Bush looked past all sins. So loyalty is no new thing here. Now, Trump being as bumbling as he was about this, I'm not going to deny he's not a politician. He doesn't know he doesn't know how to manage politics or how to be diplomatic or how to be subtle when it comes to dealing with department heads versus like heads of his different businesses and kind of things.
Right.
And again, it's not an excuse, but it is a reason. But again, at the same time, he didn't do anything illegal as far as we know. He did something stupid.
This reminded me very much of like a prize fight, a heavyweight championship bout where they get in there and it ends up going to the scorecards because they didn't even hurt each other. It was such everything that happened we already knew, and it just looks like political grandstanding to me. It's the game we have, though. What I don't understand, though, is that this is Congress, which is controlled by Republicans, and they seem hell-bent on taking out their own side. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, well, I was having connection troubles before, so I was making sure I was still here.
Yeah, you were. Well, I heard you roboting all over the place. I don't know if it was me though. So
I didn't hear him roboting at all.
Okay, then it must have been me. So I had a momentary
great
connection issue.
You and me both having internet troubles in the same stream. Good luck, SDA.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, I don't have anything else to say about it because, again, this seems to be, at the end of the day, a non-story. And like so many other hot for the moment sort of scandals things that have happened in the last 6 months with Trump, unless something new comes to light in the next 72 hours or something, this is going to fade away over time because Comey is going to become less relevant and other things are going to happen.
Thank you.
Did I fade out?
No. I was opening my nachos from Taco Bell.
God.
Sorry.
Ooh, Taco Bell nachos, yum.
With extra cheese and no beans.
Oh,
Point
yeah.
curation brings up a good point. Ha! See what I did there? Guys, if you'd be so kind as to click that like button, it helps us out a lot with these streams, and we appreciate it. But yeah, this is pretty much a non-story that CNN will probably run with for a month while everybody else moves on to real things. The other big news, the English are over there trying to have an election.
Yes, something like that.
And I don't know how many Americans we have in our chat here, but Americans are notorious for only giving a shit about their own politics.
Mm-hmm.
So if I bore you guys with this part, I apologize, but it is an interesting story that's happening over there. Unlike American elections, the British Prime Minister can call for an election pretty much whenever they want. And Theresa May, who's the Prime Minister at the moment, called for an election, 2-3 months ago? I forget how long.
Something like that, yeah.
And the consensus at the time was that she was doing this because she was so popular, she thought she was going to pick up even more support.
Well, not exactly. My understanding is that going into the Brexit process, she wanted to have it ensure that she had the political mandate more so than she did at that time before going into something this drastic. And so her solution to this was to instigate another election when they'd already had one just like 6 months prior or something.
Yeah.
So it was sort of a I'm gonna sort of firm up my political base ahead of this very difficult thing to make the process even easier, and also to gain the political capital necessary to get it through. It appears that she may have enacted a forced error on her part.
Made a huge mistake.
Yeah.
Because there is a way right now. Her main opponent in this is Jeremy Corbyn.
Yep.
Their
Comey.
election doesn't. What's that?
I said Comey, but anyway.
Anyhow.
Oh, did I break up again?
No, I thought you were making a joke about Comey.
You calling somebody a commie kind of sounds funny.
No, for me, because you gave me so much shit about my title, I thought you were trying to work Comey in there again.
No. Comey.
Yes, Jeremy Corbyn is a communist. But anyway, there's a chance right now he could become prime minister.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike here in the United States, they don't directly elect the prime minister. They elect parliament, and whoever controls parliament gets to. Do they get to actually pick their leader, or is it announced ahead? I don't know. But with the way it works, there's a good chance she's going to actually lose her spot as prime minister. And it's just kind of funny to me that this happened because I am a big fan of politics, and that's where the Game of Thrones reference comes in here. This was the perfect Game of Thrones moment. She thought that this was like the best idea because I'm going to make this work. Everybody's going to see that we're on the right path. And then she just got completely blindsided by her own stupidity.
Yeah, pretty much.
She lost a ton of support when she came out in favor of government surveillance of the internet.
Yeah, people want their midget porn.
Exactly. This is not a new thing. Right after I got onto YouTube, maybe 2 months later, there was a big story in Britain about internet surveillance. They were actually going to monitor everything the English were doing over there. And there was such a backlash, they scrapped that plan. And literally less than 6 months later, she proposes that as another plan in an election she didn't even have to have.
Mm-hmm.
It's like she's their Donald Trump. She really is. I don't actually have a story on this. I'm watching it peripherally.
Well, I was going to say, speaking of Donald Trump, unlike Donald Trump, Monkey is poor. So if you happen to have the opportunity to click that little $sign button at the bottom of the chat screen, that would be appreciated.
Indeed.
Monkey doesn't have a cool gimmick like I do for donations, but all the same, he'll love
What
you
is it you were trying to buy? A tattoo machine?
Yes.
A tattoo machine? This is news to me. What's that?
It's a joke.
It's a joke.
Is it?
I don't know, Monkey. Is it?
This is one of those things you need to be in the Discord server for.
Oh.
No, you know what I really want to save up for? And this is something Scribe keeps bringing up, and we're going to talk about it for a moment. They make this chair that you sit in and it rotates. And not like your little spinny chair, like it looks like a sci-fi kind of thing. So you can lay perfectly comfortable and still use a keyboard and a monitor. And this thing's really, really expensive. And I'm not asking people for donations for that. But the more you give me, the more I can save up for this really, really expensive
speaking of which,
chair that I need.
Thank you, Zenith. Thank you, Point. To put in perspective, if we had a parliamentary system, Paul Ryan would be prime minister. Thank you. Yes. And Point says 5 times gum money for you, Monkey. Oh, thank you, Vinificus Ignis. Must obey one of us, one of us.
One of us.
Gooble, gobble, gooble, gobble. Oh.
But yeah, it's getting increasingly hard to sit upright. So
thank you, Accelerate. $1 to Scribe, $1 to Monkey, 77 cents for SDA. Perfect. That's the way the world turns.
Except for that's $2.77 just for me.
Yeah, that's true too.
But I appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Excel. Jeez.
I was saying that Scribe's a dick, by the way.
Monkey Dick.
Monkey Dick. Jim Jones.
Movies.
Wasn't it like 5 other things we have to list off now?
No, we decided to whittle it back down to 3.
Okay.
Because the joke
Did
came from all those things where people would be like, you talk about that every stream. So we were like, oh, do we? Do we really? No, we do.
Did you have any potpourri we wanted to go through real quick?
No. I closed all my potpourri windows when I found out that nobody wants to hear me read news anymore.
Well, we still have to.
Did you really?
No, actually, well, no, I was getting ready to. Truth be told, when I was looking for potpourri earlier, I couldn't find anything that wasn't just either a sports story, or was Comey, or was like a dead child story, or some shooting or something. That was just sort of yes, SDA, dead children. You want me to find you some dead children stories? Will make that make you happy?
No.
Thank you, the one-ton hammer.
It's
I can't
fine.
believe I'm sharing resources.
Well, you're sharing it with another man, so that's okay.
So it's gay.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
be nice.
You a fag.
You be nice to people giving me money. Okay, so how about hashtag MSS News? What's going on over there?
Well, I was just about to get to that. So this one is from, and I always wonder if I'm saying this correctly. Excuse me. C. Bernier. She's the one who sent us all the links on free sex toys and implements last night.
Oh, yes, yes.
Let's see. And this is, I believe, we have Florida woman. Or Florida guy, actually. Oh, no, it's Florida man. It's about women, though. Report. Naked guy wanted hot women. Ask officers if they were God. Oh,
Okay,
boy.
there's drugs in there somewhere.
Bummer. He wanted a trip, but he got a trip in the backseat of a patrol car instead. A dude who took off his swimming trunks and ran down a panhandle highway while yelling obscenities and punching cars later told officers he dropped some acid, deputies said, in Fort Walton Beach. After being repeatedly tased and taken into custody, the unidentified teen, holy cow, requested a blunt, an orgy, and hot women before asking officers if they were God. Yo, dude, the party's over. Oh, my God. Okay.
Took too much.
That's the story. Let's see what else we got. Oh, Minds.com? I didn't know Minds.com did a story, did news. Let's see. Well, let's see. This is from Numbed Skull. I'll take a look here real quick and see what this is. Oh, it's a video, but it's got a little bit of a caption to it. As the scourge of PC culture continues to grow exponentially day by day, with activists stating that white college professors are inherently racist just for existing, it is worth looking back at another event that shows the absolute insanity of PC culture. When even historically important symbols can be censored on the basis of previous racist undertones, at this rate is only a matter of time before it becomes de facto censorship. It's talking about how the Gadsden flag is now a racist symbol.
Ah, okay.
That's basically it. As far as I can tell, there's a video attached to it, but can't play the video, obviously.
Thank you, Peter. LSD is a hell of a drug. I've heard that. I've never taken it myself. I don't like anything that alters your mind that much.
Okay, interesting. This is from Eric the driver. We have a Canadian story. Man offers to bless woman before sexually assaulting her, says Toronto police.
Well, that was nice of him.
The security footage seems to show a Hasidic Jew. Okay, Toronto police are looking.
Jews.
Yeah, Toronto police are looking for a man who they say sexually assaulted a woman after telling her she needed to be cleansed of her ex-husband. In a news release this week, police allege the incident happened in a North York apartment building near Bathurst Street, blah, 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 when a man got onto an elevator with a 37-year-old woman. After engaging in conversation, the man allegedly told the woman she needed a blessing and followed her to her apartment. The man advised the woman that she needed to be cleansed of her ex-husband. The man then sexually assaulted the woman inside the apartment. The man is described as 6 feet tall with long brown side curls and glasses. Police say he speaks Hebrew and English. The suspect, who appeared to be dressed as an Orthodox Jewish man, was wearing black shoes, black pants, a long black trench dress coat with a white collared shirt underneath. Cleansed of your ex-husband.
We discussed this yesterday. What for cleansing you use a vaginal wipe.
That's right. That's right.
You don't sexually assault them.
Yeah.
Is it too soon to make rape jokes there?
Well, what if he sexually assaulted her with one of those wipes? Is that still sexual assault, or is that just forced cleaning?
Jesus.
Is that forced sterilization? What?
Nobody said anything about sterilization except you.
That's true. I got one more from Eric, the driver, another Canadian. Eric, are you from Canada? Because there's a lot of Canadian stories. Anyway, man charged after allegedly faking illness to avoid paying restaurant bills. Okay. Police say a 39-year-old man from Gloof, Ontario, bit off more than he could chew when he allegedly feigned illness to get out of paying restaurant bills. They allege the man tried to run his scam on Wednesday evening at 2 separate downtown restaurants. In both cases, they say he appeared to develop unknown medical symptoms that resulted in a call for an ambulance. On the second call, ambulance attendants allegedly recognized the man and called police. This is like police blotter kind of stuff. It's not bad, but...
This is part of the problem with socialized medicine. In my state, you have to pay for ambulance rides. It'd be cheaper to just pay for your food.
Yeah.
Sanguine, thank you. It was aggressive wiping, yes.
I shouldn't laugh at that because that's a horrible story, but...
No, it's okay.
You need to be cleansed of your ex. So have some rape. That makes no sense.
Have some rape. Would you like some rape today?
Maybe I'm not Jewish enough to understand.
Pardon me. Do you have any rape poupon?
Oh my God.
Can I have fries with that?
Mm-hmm. Let's see, that's police blotter kind of stuff. Have you heard about this story about some guy being pulled from a burning car and then kicked by police?
What? No.
Okay, I read about this.
When did that happen?
New Jersey. Okay, here we go. Jersey City Mayor. You're going to play a video, aren't you? Yeah, you're going to play a video. Shut up. Okay. Jersey City Mayor calls video showing officers kicking man on fire unacceptable.
Uh-oh.
City Mayor said he
was Scribe.
Testing.
Better.
Testing.
Okay, try again.
Testing.
Yeah, try again.
Testing.
Oh, he can't hear us.
You're telling me to try again, so I'm trying again.
Oh,
you fucker. You motherfucker.
No, you guys are giving me the bad instruction. You say try again. Okay, I adjust my bandwidth. Testing.
I'm eating my nachos. Fuck you.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
I second that.
I'm the bad guy. All right. Okay. Jersey City Mayor Stephen Fulop said he is pursuing criminal charges against a group of cops who were seen on video kicking and dragging an innocent man who was on fire and needed help. Fulop called the video that shows the man getting kicked by officers following a police chase and fiery crash unacceptable. Quote, the video kind of speaks for itself. Any reasonable person seeing the video would say they're not trying to be helpful, he said. The crash happened Sunday night on Route 1 and 9, Tunnel Avenue. In the video, a man engulfed in flames can be seen frantically rolling from the wreckage. With their guns drawn, police approach the man as he kneels and rips away clothing. Then one officer kicks him to the ground and at least one other joins in. Eventually, police drag him into the street. Witness Eric Roberto shot the cell phone video and says he was about to help that man on fire, 28-year-old Miguel Feliz, but stopped when he saw police. Quote, when I see the cops approaching, they started kicking him and grabbing him, pulling him out of the way, he said. I was screaming, help him out, help him out. According to the Hudson County Prosecutor's Office, those officers had the wrong man, saying they, quote, believe with certainty that this man is the bystander and not the suspect involved in the chase. They made a huge mistake treating this guy that way, Roberto said. He wasn't the one they were chasing. Well, even if he was, you don't kick a guy who's on fire. Fuck's sake.
No, you stomp on him to put him out.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you do it. Yeah, curb stomp the guy. That'll put the fire out.
Yeah, well.
Authorities say Jersey City police had been pursuing 48-year-old Leo Pinkston after trying to pull him over. Pinkston allegedly got into at least 2 crashes along the way, including one with a utility pole and Feliz, who was in another car. In response to the video, Fulop tweeted, "To be clear." Oh, God, to be clear. The number 2 and the letter B. "This is unacceptable. We're IDing officers. Will pursue termination plus criminal charges as appropriate." But the police union is defending the officers and lashing out at Fulop. Quote, "Mayor Fulop's statements and actions over the last few days, his decision not to allow for a thorough and fair investigation, show again that his thoughts are with politics and not policing." Earlier, the union said the video, quote, "clearly shows that the officers acted quickly to extinguish the flames and pull this man out of harm's way." If you watch the video, they are kicking the man while he's down and on fire.
Beautiful.
They might have decided late into the game to pull him away from the fire and try to get him to the side, but you can see them kicking him.
In fairness to the police, do we know if they've been trained on how to properly put out a person on fire?
I don't know, but the Peter has given you a donation. Oh wait, sorry.
Peter.
Oh, sorry, that was from a while back. I just noticed it now. I apologize. And it's only
Well,
it's only
thank you
$20.
anyway, Peter.
It's only $20 Australian, so you know.
That's a lot of gum.
I know, that's a lot of gum. Sorry, I thought that was something new. I'm not paying attention to chat. I'm reading news. I should just stop. Police officers aren't firemen, guys.
That's right.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you want me to? Let's see. I got another stupid Florida man story.
Let's do one more Florida man. Let's see.
Okay. One more Florida man. Okay. Let's see here. Video: Florida man kisses diamondback rattlesnake, gets tongue bit, and hospitalized. I don't even know if I need to go on. Florida authorities say a man tried to show a diamondback rattlesnake some love and affection, but got bitten on the tongue instead.
Good.
According to WTLV Putnam County Fire Rescue. What? Sorry?
Haven't we talked about this?
Well, I don't know how old this story is.
I'm getting deja vu.
It doesn't give me a date on the story. No, this is from June 8th.
Oh,
So maybe... Yeah, people just love trying to kiss snakes, apparently. Reports say the man had been drinking while handling the snake. Big surprise. But things took a deadly turn when the man made his move on the deadly reptile. The unidentified man is now in critical condition in the hospital. Yeah, getting bit on the tongue by a diamondback, yeah, that's going to kill you, more likely than not. I mean, the big vein inside your tongue, that'll take the poison straight to you.
This is just Darwinism.
Pretty much. Thank you, Sanguine. Stop, drop, and roll. Kicks him back down. Now roll. Kicks. For fuck's sake, just roll already.
They were just being helpful.
I know.
I feel like they're getting a bad rap.
Yeah. Thank you, Peter. Again, now it's $30. Is that better, Scribe? Oh, Jesus. Okay, now I feel bad. Now I feel bad. I was just joking, dude.
Don't feel bad. Guilt him into more, damn it.
Okay. Oh, yeah. $10 Australian.
Peter.
God, that'll only buy like one didgeridoo for anal play.
Oh my God, you had to go back there.
Well, back there is the only place it'll go.
Gross.
Oh my God.
Oh, I'm on a roll now.
That was a good one.
Put Scribe in the corner.
No,
nobody put Scribe in the corner.
Oh my God. Mark, we weren't playing old clips. This is apparently a new story. It just came out today.
Okay.
So either it's somebody reporting on the old story or another moron did the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's all the news, unless we want to go over anything else.
That was all of the news. No, I'm good with that. Let's move on to YouTube-y stuff.
Sure.
Did you put out a video? I thought I saw one.
Thank you, Sanguine, for the callback. Oh well, my memory hasn't completely failed me yet. I can remember useless information, not things that'll help me get ahead in the world, but movie trivia and anal didgeridoos. I did put out a video today. I found this yesterday. I always love finding these like little talk show channels that I've never heard of before that have thousands of subscribers. And thank you, Vinificus. Give Scribe some butter because he's on a roll.
Nice.
So I caught this yesterday, and it's just a short little segment from, I guess, a longer talk show. It's called Get It Girl. I'd never heard of this before. And they're talking about feminism. And I almost passed over even doing anything about it, except that in the first 30 seconds of the video, the one of the three hosts says like 3 or 4 things that off the top of my head I knew to be absolutely wrong. And she was using them as points as to why feminism is necessary.
Wrong from a feminist? I don't believe you.
Yeah, I know. Well, but there were a couple of them I hadn't heard before, or at least hadn't heard articulated this way. So the first one, of course, was equal pay, because that's always a good standby. Another one was Viagra isn't taxed, but tampons are. And I was like, well, I was like, well,
two totally separate things.
Well, exactly. I showed a nice little infographic I found that said, except for Illinois, every state in the country exempts tax on prescription medication, including birth control. But I doubt you would like it if somebody suggested that birth control should be taxed.
Mm-hmm.
And the third one was, she said,
condoms are taxed.
Yes, condoms are taxed. Yeah, they are a luxury
because
item.
it's not a medication.
Yeah, it's not necessary for survival, unless of course you're a man and want to keep your paycheck to yourself.
Keep your resources.
Scribe and MGTOW.
Sure, that's me.
You made him that way.
Man,
gross.
Going my own way.
No, I haven't gotten my claws into him yet.
No, it's just being around you turns men into MGTOW.
No, it's not.
Look, I hate to tell you this, but I've already seen Jinx on the MGTOW forums.
You have not. He loves me. I'm his favorite person.
Yeah, well, he's beholden to you. That doesn't mean he's anyway. And the third thing she said just offhandedly was, why do we have to pay more for life insurance or health insurance? And I was like, you don't pay more for life or health insurance. Men always pay more for life and health insurance. And here's why. And I just
women tend to pay more for health insurance just because we do more shit with the doctors.
No. Men don't live as long as women. Men, on average, have more dangerous vocations than women do. Men, on average, participate in more dangerous pastimes than women do. Men pay higher premiums than women on insurance. That's just a fact.
I'm gonna sit over here and let y'all fight.
Yeah. Well, it's fine.
I mean,
you can look it up.
That's true, but men also don't go to the doctor as often as women do, and women tend to go to the doctor for more things.
Well, medical coverage and life insurance, health insurance are two different things.
No, I'm talking about medical coverage.
Yeah, well, this is. I believe she said specifically life insurance. I might be.
Oh, never mind.
I might be mumbling my terms here a little bit. I apologize.
Yeah, because life insurance is completely different from just medical coverage.
Yeah. Thank you, Sanguine.
Life insurance, then yeah, sure, because men are more likely to die sooner and all that.
Sanguine says, has he met enough people to make an informed decision, SDA?
Yeah, actually he has, and I'm his favorite.
But yeah, these three girls, they go over, they run the gamut. I mean, the first girl starts off the entire thing saying, as far as I'm concerned with feminism, you're either all in or all out. And then later on in the video, she complains about how some feminists think that being a mother is a bad thing. And I'm like, well, which is it? Are you a moderate? They go over so many contradictory and confusing things. It just kind of annoyed me. So it's not the most in-depth intellectual thing ever. But after the big speech one, which I'm still working on, which I will get out in the next day or two, it was a nice little cotton candy thing to work on. Point, thank you. If you're looking for a subject, male suicide. Thoughts? Ew.
I don't want to talk about that. Okay. Men commit suicide at higher rates, not because they attempt at higher rates, but because they attempt more violently. So
we're just better at it, like we are at everything else.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, they're okay with blowing their heads off and being ugly. Women typically want to be pretty after they die. So what are you going to
do? There was one other thing I was thinking about doing a video on. It's not a video on a video. It's a video on something going on over everyday feminism. And I don't know if it's new or not. I don't know if this is something that anybody else has talked about, because I just spotted it today. So as you know, everyday feminism had a financial crisis recently and apparently got past it. So they have a little link at the top of their homepage now that says, join our healing from toxic whiteness training. And I was like, I have no idea what this is.
Have you never seen this before?
Is this old news? Because I had never seen it before.
Well, it's been around for a while. This is actually the second time they've offered this course.
Oh, okay. I'd never seen it before, so this is news to me. So I was thinking about doing it because I wasn't sure. Is this something new or has this been there forever? Because I don't go to their website at all. But
yeah, it's like a $99 course to learn how bad you are for being white.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's how I figured they were making their money from now, but I wasn't sure what it was. So this is nothing. This is not a news flash. Okay. Well, I won't do a video on it then. I didn't know if it was something.
You could still do a video on it showing this is why everyday feminism is fucking crashing and burning.
Yeah.
But yeah, I almost did a video on that a little while ago.
Okay.
It's absolute insanity. If you look through the course, it is really fucking stupid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's I believe the price is $97 or 3 installments of $33 or something, depending on if you want to pay a lump. So if you pay a lump sum, you save a whole $3 or $2. Wow, golly gee. Anyway, yeah, and I'm also still working on the big long speech video. It's just going to be, it takes longer for assembly because it's so long. So I'll hopefully get that out tomorrow or Saturday at the worst, I figure at this point. That's it for me.
SDA?
I'm either tomorrow or tonight I'm going to film a video about pedos.
Ooh.
With me in it.
How are you in it?
I'm just going to actually do like a face cam video.
Oh, okay.
She hasn't done one of those in a while. She's been using her flag.
That's true.
Are you going to show boobies?
No.
No cleavage?
Okay, so I'll be listening to that one.
What?
What? I didn't say anything.
You.
He wishes.
I'm just trying to help you out. You should wear your schoolgirl uniform.
No.
Hello?
So at least you actually had something for us tonight on that one. I'm impressed.
Well, it's rare that, it takes me more than 2 hours to do a video.
Oh, be quiet.
So
then why don't you do more?
Mostly because I've been spending a lot of time writing.
That's not good enough. Show some boots. Show some.
Are you drunk?
No, God damn it. I'm actually going to be talking to my doctor about the medicine because this is getting ridiculous.
I think you just have too many marbles in your mouth.
I was going to say, show some boobs, make your audience happy.
I was thinking if she's going to do a video on pedophilia, she should dress up like a little girl.
Oh, I think that would make it hella creepy.
Well, that would be the point.
Weird.
That'd be the point. It
I'm
is
not
creepy.
doing that, Scribe.
It's a creepy subject.
Knock it off.
I mean, do you know anything about showmanship?
No, that would just be for your benefit and nobody else's. You just want to be creepy.
Horse shit. Oh no, nobody else's.
That's the one we watch with the volume off.
Yeah. Do you watch Twitch these days? Yeah, never mind. Actually, I just watch those Twitch fail compilations that have all the best stuff in them. So those are always fun.
I love those. I love fail compilations of pretty much anything.
Yeah.
In the video that me and Irate Bear did yesterday, we had talked about how we were scripting it out. And I made the point of asking, do you want to explain to Anita why they use Muslims as terrorists? And we discussed him putting in, bombings and shit like that.
Yeah.
And he came up with the idea of doing the fail part of it where they get run over and the machine gun blows up. And I love fail videos.
I do too.
Okay, my video for today. I was Peacemaker. Ranting Feminist had come out with a video where she's kind of saying some of the same stuff as Lacey Green did about, being willing to talk to people. She's a little more forceful about saying I'm still not talking to assholes, which I don't blame her for. But something I've mentioned several times on the stream here is I think there's a big problem on both sides with people seeing their opponent as fucking evil, less than human. And all I'm suggesting is that maybe we don't treat people like that. You can be as mean as you want to them. You can call them an asshole, say they're morons.
Sure.
You can still insult people and not see them as fucking evil.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to somebody on the other side of your agreement, of your conversation, I guess, that other person generally thinks that they are trying to do the right thing. Somebody who believes in communism, your everyday person on the street, doesn't want to see people suffer under Stalin-like rule. They will actually tell you, well, communism has never been tried properly. It's always the bad people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because they genuinely believe that it's the right thing to make everybody happy, or at least everybody as happy as you can. They're wrong, but they're not evil about it. There's no malintent there. So I just think that's something that really needs to be stressed because it's been lost. And I remember growing up in the 80s and you'd see politicians who were horrible to each other. And then they would go to dinner and they were genuinely friends. They just thought their politics were wrong.
Well, you see, this is the thing that you have to remember. If you perceive someone as morally bankrupt on the basis of they're saying things that you don't agree with, I hate to tell you this, but you are the definition of a bigot.
Yes.
So just remember, keep that in mind, people. I mean, you know, everybody puts their pants on one leg at a time, just like everybody else. There are people in this world that are morally failed, you know, murderers and rapists and so on and so forth.
And Muslims.
But most people are just doing what they do and minding their own business and not hurting anybody. And give everyone the benefit of the doubt until they give you proof to the contrary. But even if they don't agree with you on something, that doesn't make them bad or somehow wrong or you have to hate them. It's just you disagree, for God's sakes.
Yeah, and one of the problems I have right now with their side is Steve Shives.
Mm-hmm.
I watched another live stream. I forget who he was doing with. Jeff Holiday had just thrown it into Twitter and I went over to look, and Steve goes on this long ass rant once again about how he's not talking to anybody he disagrees with because they have nothing to say. And he actually said at one point that anti-SJWs poison the well. And then he spends the next 3 minutes doing nothing but talking about how horrible anti-SJWs are without giving a single example. Literally poisoning the well for anybody who hadn't, you know, heard of us. But his rhetoric about not talking to the other side is fucking cancerous.
Yeah.
It ruins the ability to have a decent conversation.
Right.
But yeah, that was what my video was about. And mostly it was very positively received. I was surprised by how many people had put in the comments how much they like Ranting Feminist. I think Ranting Feminist is way too smart to be a feminist. I've talked to her privately many times, and she's actually very smart, but she kind of throws it out the window when it comes to feminism. But she's a really nice person. We still disagree on politics. We have some great back and forths about politics, but she's just a really nice person working her way through life like everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Point Curation asks, and thank you for the donation, at what point would you consider someone to have crossed the threshold from being misinformed and misguided to being malevolent? I quit.
Okay, bye.
No, don't leave.
To answer your question that I can't read.
Scribe.
I think when you get to the point of like Steve Shives where you actually see the other side as so evil that you think it's okay to punch them randomly on the street. When you get to that point, you're just an asshole.
Yeah, so basically like Riley Dennis, Steve Shives, Cat Black.
Yeah, it's when you take your, let's say, combustible rhetoric from simple words and try to carry it into the real world, either by direct action or by incitement. That's the point at which it's like, okay, well, you might be a firebrand, but now you're turning into a complete jerk, and more so. And especially if you're not apologetic about it, or you don't come back after the fact and say, you know, I went over the line, I got too carried away, I apologize, whatever else. Because Yeah, I mean, having a a controversial opinion or a pointed disagreement with somebody is one thing, but it's that old adage by I think it's Jefferson. If it doesn't pick my pocket or break my leg, what matters it me? Up
Yeah.
until the point of those two eventualities for you or anybody else, it's just words. It's just sticks and stones, that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
One thing that I had a conversation with somebody who was telling me that these people are just bad. They're
Mhm.
horrible people, and they hate us for no reason. And I had to remind them, they see us the same way.
Mhm.
I don't think that we need to open dialogue because they're great people. I think we need to open dialogue to remind us they are people,
Mhm.
and that the horrible things you think about them, many of them honestly believe those same things about you. When one of them says, all men are sexist, they actually believe that shit. And the way you really fight that is not actually poking fun at them, which I have no problem with. Absolutely make fun of that. But is to expose them to men who don't fit their stereotype. We used to see movies like this all the time back in, they come from the late 70s and early 80s, of a very racist person who is suddenly put into a situation where they're with a black person.
Yes.
And over the course of it, they realize the black person is just a person.
Mhm.
And that's how exposure is how you fight this kind of shit.
You know,
I
my
remember
favorite.
Honestly.
in 7th grade, we read a book called The K,
Yes,
and
I read that too.
it was like, it pretty much drives home the point of, like what they would now call colorblind racism. Because at one point, the main character asks, like, this old black guy, because the main character goes blind or whatever, and at one point he asks him, "Are you still black?"
Mhm.
And like, that's what people mean when they say that they don't see color. Not that I'm like stupid and I can't tell that you're black, but that,
It's not a determinative factor.
yeah.
My favorite, when you talk about the movies, my favorite one of those, I was in college and we were watching The Patriot, right?
Mhm.
And at the very end of the movie, the racist amongst the group, played by Donald Logue, they're getting ready for the big battle against the British, and he's standing there, and the black member of the team or whatever that's been with the whole movie and who he's been harassing the whole time. I believe prior to this, he had his life saved by this guy. So they're standing on the line together, and Donald Logue turns to the black soldier, and he says something to the effect of, "I'm honored to be standing on the line with you." And then the black character turns really slowly to look at him with this really like steady glare. And before he can say his line, and I'm watching this movie with a bunch of friends of mine at a dorm house or whatever, before he can even open his mouth, as he's opening his mouth, I say, "Fuck you, cracker." And everybody blew up. It was so perfect. It was so after as shitty as he was to this guy the entire movie, to come down to this last moment where they're probably going to get themselves killed fighting the British. It was just perfect. But yeah, no, you see that all the time. Like, oh, you had your mind changed, all this other stuff. Oh, it's so poignant, so compelling, so socially aware. Like, oh god, that's one of those really boring tropes, honestly, in some of those movies.
I thought in the book though that it was done well.
Oh yeah, no, the K. I remember reading the K in I think it was junior high or high school. Yeah, that was a good book.
Yeah. And it's kind of weird that idea is now seen as racist.
Mm-hmm, right.
Like, it's a story about a kid who goes blind, and because he literally can't see anymore, he becomes not racist.
Mm,
And now that would just be like racist as hell. I'm like, it
right.
doesn't make any fucking sense.
You're not acknowledging his culture. You're being racist by ignoring the reality of whatever. Yeah,
Well,
and the other thing too. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Is that how all the social justice warriors are like, white people just don't like talking about racial issues. There was nobody in my classroom that was uncomfortable talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it just wasn't uncomfortable, because everybody was like, yeah, being black doesn't make you any different. Okay, bye.
Well,
Nothing uncomfortable about that.
If you look at the actual history of our country, forced segregation, this was one of the goals of it, was to expose forced integration, was to expose the different races to each other. And then if you watch how I've said this before, racism was dying out in the 80s. It's never going to go away because you're always going to have assholes. But the late 80s, especially with the explosion of rap and little white kids everywhere running around trying to be little street kids, nobody cared that the rapper on TV was black. That was the coolest guy you knew, was the guy up there, Fresh Prince singing, parents just don't understand. Everybody was running around singing that shit.
Right.
You expose the cultures to each other. That's how you bring them together.
Well, cultural exchange is something that keeps us from literally wanting to segregate ourselves.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, you're Islam. If you're Islam, I don't want your culture. Go away.
In other YouTube news, somebody's brought this to my attention. I think it was MASH. Thank you for that. Yesterday, I think it was, Phil DeFranco did a story on it. Keemstar talked about it yesterday, and now Andy Worski's made a video. Forbes magazine has come out with a video, I think it's a video and a article talking about bad YouTubers again. Very much in the same vein as the New York Times articles that were out there. They specifically mention Hunter Avalon, Andy Keemstar, and Phil DeFranco. And amazingly, as long as these people have been around on YouTube, fuck it all up. They talk about how Hunter Avalon is just in this for the money. He realized how much money he could make, so he jumped on the Trump bandwagon.
No, he's not.
And yeah, Philly D is alt-right. Thank you, Mara, for bringing that. Phil DeFranco is alt-right.
Phil DeFranco is the least alt-right person ever. He does centrism really well because I don't know why, or I don't know how he manages to do it. Maybe it's because he actually takes real stances on things, but he doesn't do centrism like Armored Skeptic, where it makes you want to blow your brains out. He's a good centrist.
He is, because he will tell you what both sides are saying and tell you where he stands.
Yeah.
That's how you be centrist. Centrist does not mean I have no opinion at all.
Armored Skeptic.
That's not what skeptic means. That's being indecisive. But yeah, it's a interesting article if you guys want to watch it or read it and then watch some of their videos responding to it, because it's just fucking retarded.
It is.
And one of the things that this was Forbes. The last one we had was the Wall Street Journal. These are traditionally very conservative news sources, and they are jumping all the fuck over what would be considered slightly conservative YouTubers. Now, in this case,
Hunter is more conservative,
yeah,
I think, than anybody else mentioned, but he's not crazy.
Well, Keemstar is actually pretty leftist, and if you listen to Phil DeFranco's actual views when he gives, after he tells you what both sides think, he tends to be left. So these people being attacked as alt-right aren't even fucking alt-right. Thank you, Point Curation. Here's hoping Ranting Monkey, Some Dumb American, and Scribe Light become big and relevant enough to have mainstream media hit pieces written against them.
Right?
Yay!
Terrible
Yes.
Jew-hating podcast that runs every night. Something.
Fuck fake news. Fuck people who... Oh, God damn it.
Obfuscate.
I believe in you, monkey.
Say it with me.
Obfuscate.
It's the Nosferatu discipline of concealment.
You guys don't understand that
Obfuscate.
it's actually hard for my tongue to do this.
No,
Well,
I actually do
yes.
get it. That's actually why I'm on Ritalin.
No, I understand
Because
it
my
completely.
medication- You
Yeah.
hush.
Well, I was just saying, I understand it completely because Lady Monkey's already told us how bad you are with your tongue.
Oh, fuck you.
You opened the door. It was wide open. Into the great wide open.
So that's
Yeah.
why I told him to shut up.
It becomes physically impossible for me to say some words right now.
Okay.
No, that's why I take Ritalin, because some of the medication I take makes me stupid. Which, given
I'm
the
not
baseline,
stupid.
isn't helpful.
She just called me stupid.
No, I called myself stupid.
No, you said you get it because it makes you stupid, which means that must mean I'm stupid.
Well, I mean, like, you can't read right now.
I can
I'm trying
read. It's
to be
just there's
sympathetic
certain.
to your plight.
I
That's
know
you
you're
being
new to
sympathetic?
sympathy.
Yeah, your sympathy.
I'm
huh?
trying my best, okay?
Oh yeah,
I'm
do or do
disabled.
not. There is no try.
No, there's actually times in my own written scripts where I've had to change a word because my tongue just will not fucking do it. Thank you, Venificus. Fucking people. Want some aloe vera? Fuck.
Yes, dude. You want me to just read the super chats for you?
If you wouldn't mind, yeah. Jesus Christ.
This is yeah. So Vinificus Ignis says, "Want some aloe vera for that burn, monkey?"
Yes, I do.
All right.
The hardest part of all of this has been losing my memory and losing my ability to speak properly. My hand's not working well. I don't care about that. But I miss my mind. I really do. Can monkey curl his tongue? Yes, I can.
What do they mean by that?
Well, there's two different ways people talk about curling your tongue. One of them is going, and the other one is actually curling your tongue as it comes out of your mouth. And I can do both.
Are there people who can't do that?
Yeah, it's a genetic thing.
Oh my god. That's weird. Why don't your tongues work?
Just a quick update. So, well, CNN's at least reporting that it's possible, given the numbers right now, that the conservatives may hold a slim majority.
Oh, so Theresa May would still be prime minister.
Maybe. I mean, that's the latest. You know, these things could change in 10 minutes, but yeah, that's supposedly what CNN thinks might be the case right now.
Sanguine, thank you. Well, yes, you can't read right now. So yes, she is calling you stupid, monkey. You going to take that? I can't argue against it. My tongue's not working properly.
Yeah, what you gonna do about it, huh?
I'll mute your ass.
Mute your ass. I wish you would. No more farts.
You could still have them. They'd just be silent.
Silent but deadly.
My cat did that the other night when I was sleeping or trying to sleep.
Oh no!
I laid down in bed and I'm like, "What the hell is that?" And yeah, it's.
Wait, are you telling us you suffered a pussy fart?
Yes, I did. A queef.
All right. That's making sure.
I'm just going to call him Queef from now on because he does it a lot.
Hey, Queef! You say that with like mixed companies around, like, hey, Queef! Oh, what?
Hey, Queef!
Get over here, Queef! Oh.
Are you grossed out by queefing? This is where we turn to the serious part of the show. Are you grossed out by queefing? Okay.
I'm grossed out by this headache I'm apparently nursing all of a sudden. Owie. Oh.
Stretching. Guys, I woke up less than an hour before the stream. My sleep schedule is all fucked up right now. I can't sleep until I'm passed out. And Lady Monkey was kind enough to wake me up to make sure we could still do this. So I'm old and broken, so you might hear me stretch and moan.
Scribe, Johnny Depp will be the Invisible Man. Yes, the Invisible Man. They're also going to be doing a Phantom of the Opera and a Hunchback of Notre Dame movies.
No, they better not touch Phantom. Don't touch Phantom.
Yeah, well, so yeah, Universal is just diving deep into their monster library, and supposedly they're going to make this shared monster universe, except everything I've read so far about The Mummy is about as exciting as Dracula Untold. So, yeah.
I seem to upset. We've upset the chat by talking about queefs.
Well, we can talk about movies now because I already started that ball rolling.
All right, I'll just be quiet for the rest of the time.
You be quiet? What's quiet?
No, quiet. I said quiet.
Oh no, I heard you say quiet.
No,
well, you're hearing shit.
Apparently so.
Thank you, Point. Old and broken, but not broke. Close to broke, though.
Yeah.
Hanging in there, mostly because of you, Point, and I appreciate it. Movies. Yeah, what movies are you excited to see, Scribe?
Excited to see Thor Ragnarok, Spider-Man Homecoming. Let's see what else. Star Wars, of course.
You know what movie really excited me?
What's that?
I didn't even know they'd made one. They're redoing Murder on the Orient Express.
Yes, Kenneth Branagh plays Hercule Poirot. A mystery movie, an actual mystery murder movie. I'll be curious to see how successful or popular that is, because that's a relatively old concept that doesn't get much traction these days.
Well, it has limited replay value. You have to have a really good
Yes.
story.
Yeah.
Most of the draw there is the mystery, and once you know the end. But I am a big Agatha Christie fan, and I'm so excited to see them making that movie.
I know the best Hercule Poirot, and I'll give Kenneth Branagh a chance, but the best one that's ever been on screen or otherwise was David Suchet, who played it on the A&E series of the Hercule Poirot mysteries and all that kind of stuff. He did it perfect, absolutely perfect. And oddly enough, he also played the main terrorist on Executive Decision. So if you ever watch Executive Decision, you see David Suchet playing a Middle Eastern terrorist, and then in Hercule Poirot, he's playing a Belgian detective. So just shows his range. There is I saw a preview today for something that I'm really interested to see, because it looks Coen Brothers-esque, even though I don't think it's actually Coen Brothers. But it's got a lot of the same actors in it. It's called 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Long title, but it's got Woody Harrelson in it. It's got what's her name? The lady Frances McDormand, Sam Rockwell. It's got a whole bunch of it's a cast of hundreds or whatever, and it looks like either a comedy or a drama, depending on how you look at it. And it's really interesting looking. So I don't know if I'll actually be able to see that in the theater. It looks like one of those things that'll have a limited release, but looks good.
I need a moment, sorry.
Okay. Let's see. What else is coming out? Oh, there's also Transformers, if we want to worry about Transformers. Probably not. Now, the Valerian and City of a Thousand Planets. That one I'm curious about because it's done by the same guy who did Fifth Element, which is one of my favorite movies. It has a similar visual aesthetic to that movie. I don't think there's any connection to it, and it's based on a.
Also have Rihanna.
It does have Rihanna as a sort of a shape-shifting character, I guess. I've only seen in the previews. It's based on a very famous French comic book series or graphic novel series, which I'm not much familiar with, but apparently is very well loved, and so I'm curious to see it, just because if it's anything like Fifth Element in that sort of style, then I'll be happy to see it. War for the Planet of the Apes, another Woody Harrelson movie. I was so surprised by the previous Planet of the Apes movie and how good it was that I am excited to see that one, the new one.
Thank you, Skeptok. Ramen for Monkey. I appreciate it. I love ramen. And P-Dog Knight, thank you. Hey, speaking of movies, now that Wonder Woman is doing so well, can we just all admit now that Ghostbusters sucked? Yes, we can.
Yeah. And I love how I saw a review, or someone did a review today about, how one woman's like, now we finally know that a female-led action movie can be popular, and And I was like, yeah, except there are all those that didn't, like Lucy, like Ghost in the Shell, like what was it?
Alien?
Well, now Alien's an exception, because you see, it's just like some movies succeed and some don't. The gender of the lead character doesn't mean shit next to the quality of the film. So if you have Cutthroat Island and you have Long Kiss Goodnight and you have Lucy and you have, and Elektra and Catwoman and you have Alien, some of these things are going to do better than others, not because the lead is female, but because they're good movies or they're shitty movies. Wonder Woman does not, they're talking about, it breaks all these glass ceilings. All this. It doesn't prove anything other than a competent action movie will be well received regardless of the gender of the lead. That's all there is to it.
Let me throw this out there. Maybe Wonder Woman is just doing so well because she's running around in her panties. Maybe Ghostbusters would have done better if those 4 women were just in their panties all the time.
Not the fat one.
So Melissa McCarthy just in her panties would have made you a happy man.
And Leslie Jones.
Oh God! What is wrong with you?
Imagine how the set would have smelled.
Oh, queefing everywhere.
Okay, Scribe, that's enough out of you, can it?
Yes, dear.
Uh,
Oh, what about the Emoji Movie? That's coming. Don't you want to see the Emoji Movie?
I still
have
can't fucking
no.
believe that there's an Emoji Movie. I'm fucking done.
The Kingsman sequel's coming. Did you see the Kingsman? The
I
monkey?
did not.
It's actually really entertaining. I mean, you have to go into it understanding that it's essentially a send-up of like spy movies and James Bond type stuff. And going into that, it's also it's exceedingly well filmed. I mean, it's a Guy Ritchie movie, and it's really Guy Ritchie at his best when he's doing like frenetic fight scenes and stuff like that. It's really good. The acting's really good. It's a fun movie to watch. Samuel L. Jackson's a little bit cartoonish. His bad guy kind of reminded me of the octopus in the Spirit, which was a really bad movie that Frank Miller directed. But the sequel looks like it should be all right.
Thank you, Zenith. We shouldn't be breaking glass ceilings. It lets in a draft. That's true.
Unless it blows up skirts.
I was going to ask Scribe to read that because that's one of his kind of jokes.
Oh. Well, I
say, I already did it. So
I wouldn't mind the draft so long as it's going to blow up some skirts. That's all. Thank you, Sanguine. My mental image was Harambe in a G-string, and that is your fault, Monkey. Well, just think about Monkey in a G-string, and you'll have Harambe in a G-string.
Someone, something Paxman said, SDA, stop being a wuss and watch Aliens. No. I don't want to see gross stuff.
Gross stuff.
Now, have you ever watched
gross stuff?
You used to like horror movies. I assume you still do. Did you ever watch any of them that were bug related, or could you just not?
Fuck no. What's wrong with you?
No.
Well, I didn't know if this was something that you developed in a version 2 later.
No. I've always hated bugs.
Rob Bay says Kingsman was directed by Matthew Vaughn.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. That's right. I got my. Okay, legit. Would you accuse me of being off base in saying that some of the camera work and everything in that movie wasn't very reminiscent of Guy Ritchie?
Scribe being wrong? Why?
I know. What was I think? I was thinking of something that Guy Ritchie did recently, obviously. Hold on.
I think it's great that when it comes to movies, people really want to find you wrong on something.
Oh, no, I claim no sainthood on having all the facts and trivia down pat. The Man from U.N.C.L.E. That's why I was thinking about spy movies and Guy Ritchie. The Man from U.N.C.L.E. was Guy Ritchie. My mistake. Anyway.
Read chat, Scribe. Go back and read what my wife just said.
Okay.
Read it out loud.
Okay, read it out loud. Sanguine LMAO. Well, that's exciting, guys. Oh, lower down? Okay. SDA does not like gross stuff, hence Scribe Light and Ranting Monkey don't show their faces.
Ooh. Shit.
Now, I'd just like to point out she's never seen you, so that's just a friendly joke. She knows what I look like. She married whatever you are. Now, I take exception to that. That's casting aspersions where there's absolutely no facts and evidence. She has no idea how handsome I am.
Oh God.
No, she's just mean.
Okay, does Bay get triggered when playing Pokemon? And she has, it's a Pokemon, so it's different.
Oh, I used a lot of Pokemon in my video today. I used them to represent the various types of feminism that they.
How dare you?
Well, I know, right?
Pokemon in that situation. What's wrong with you?
Well, they made up, as far as I know, they made up a brand new type of feminism in the middle of the video. Okay. Have you guys heard of difference feminism?
No, but there's no excuse to drag Pokemon into that.
Well, yeah, there is. I explained it.
No, there's not.
Did you watch the video?
No, yeah.
Well, anyway. Casting aspersions on your asparagus? No, I don't particularly like asparagus. Let's see.
To make your
pee stink, yeah.
Taste better?
Yeah. Semen taste? No, pineapple does that. Schmeckel, we
I don't
don't do
taste
guests on stream. When have we ever done a guest on the stream? Are we talking about like an Eiffel Tower?
Huh?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Did you go dirty on us?
Go?
Yes, he did.
How can I go to where I already
gross.
am? Anyway. Okay, so yeah, send SDA all the gift certificates to Red Lobster you can.
No, what is wrong with you?
What?
Nothing.
Lobster serves other stuff besides lobster.
I fucking cannot look at lobster. I hate lobster.
Now
No.
the logo's got a lobster on it. So direct those gift certificates to. Never mind.
She doesn't like lobster. She prefers crabs.
Points out that we had Satsu on here before, so we
Satsu is a special case. Satsu actually started with us.
Satsu is a special case.
He left us for being too white.
No, that's probably what it is. Yeah, he just got too white for us.
Satsu is SDA approved, so he gets to come play with us.
SDA approved. I like that.
Point says that he. Wait, let me go back and read it. I'd like to see you guys have Satsu again if you'd consider it. We had him just last week?
Something like that. Yeah.
We have him on when he shows up.
At least on my channel, Satsu has a standing invitation anytime he wants to come by.
Yeah.
Same here.
We should have Irate Bear on here sometime, if the timing works out somehow.
No, he's asleep at doodles.
Is he
Yeah,
asleep?
with Irate Bear, it's a timing thing because of how late it is.
That's true.
He has joined us once, I believe.
Yeah, way back in the day, in the olden days of the beginnings of all this. Are they still doing an Inhumans movie? No, they're doing an Inhumans TV show that's being filmed right now. It's coming out, I think, later this year. And there's still some waviness on whether or not it'll have any direct connection to the Inhuman plot line in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. However, the sour note to the Inhumans television series is that the showrunner for the Inhumans television series is the same one that ran, well, can you guess what show he ran before this?
Either Iron Fist or Jessica Jones.
Iron Fist.
Oh no.
Yeah. Now that does not mean that the writing will be as bad. Well, I hope it's not as bad as Iron Fist, because Iron Fist was piss poor. But the guy playing Black Bolt is the guy from Hell on Wheels, Anson Mount, I think his name is. He looks the part. They got Medusa's hair very big and red and bright, so that looks interesting. The photographs look like interesting stuff. I'm just curious because Black Bolt can't speak. Well, he can speak, but he's not supposed to speak because one whisper can level a mountain, kind of thing. So I'm wondering how they're going to manage. I'm curious to see what kind of performance you get out of somebody who, by nature of the character, cannot actually vocalize for 99% of the show. So that'll be interesting.
Joys of Sorrow asks, who's the show's token Mexican?
Oh, SDA. We already saw that with her. She did that guess your race photograph thing.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Yep. So you're Mexican, or Latino, I guess is the more
No,
correct
I'm Latinx.
Oh, that's right. Latinx. Yeah.
Bless you.
Mexican dominatrix.
I'm not a dominatrix.
Some people would like you to be, I'm sure.
Yeah, ugh, gross.
Yeah.
Call Me Oz asked, what movie would we like to see remade? The only kind of movies that I would like to see remade are, one, I would love to see the Harry Potter movies remade where they actually followed the fucking books. But otherwise, the only time I even think I want to see that remade is if it had special effects that were really cheesy.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, I would want it made exactly like the original, just with better special effects. I don't want anything else changed.
Yeah.
Bay keeps telling me to read the Harry Potter books.
You should. They are excellent.
The only movies that should be remade, at least on their face, are movies that had a good concept but were executed poorly. You want to avoid remaking classics like Psycho and so on. There are exceptions. The exceptions are rare. True Grit is one of the most recent prime exceptions. 3:10 to Yuma. Remaking Westerns, well, it doesn't always pay off because obviously the recent Magnificent Seven was a complete waste of time.
I thought it was good.
Yeah, you would. That's fine. But the movie I would like to see remade, and remade as the horror movie it should have been, is Mars Attacks.
Okay.
Making that into an actual creepy, violent and twisted horror film, like the card collection it's based on, would have been far preferable to the gobbledygook that Tim Burton threw together. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. You know, they are due to make another Invasion of the Body Snatchers remake, because they make one about once every 20 years or so. The original Invasion of the Body Snatchers with Kevin McCarthy is a classic. I love that movie so much. The 79 remake with Donald Sutherland is almost one of those things where it's like the remake is better than the original to a certain extent, except, oh God, the hairstyles and the aesthetics of 1970s New York, especially Donald Sutherland's perm. I mean, and Leonard Nimoy's hairstyle. I mean, I believe it was one of Jeff Goldblum's first movies after Death Wish. But yeah, I mean, the ending of the remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers is one of the most frightening and memorable endings to a sci-fi movie, or just about any movie I can remember when I was growing up. When they remade it again in '93 as Body Snatchers, I think Abel Ferreira directed that one, with Lily, not Lily Taylor. I forget her name. But anyway, it was all centered on an army base, and it was really kind of weird. And then in 2003 or 4, they did another one with Daniel Craig and Nicole Kidman. They just called The Invasion, but they modified the nature of the aliens so much, and the movie was just awful. Just awful. I always thought they should remake it, but set it in the original time period of the story in the original movie. I always thought a great actor to play Miles would have been Bill Pullman. He's too old now, but back in the olden days, I thought Bill Pullman would be a great match for that. I had a whole sort of imagined series of events in my head of how that movie would work, but I love Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I've got like 3 different copies of that book. It's kind of my Catcher in the Rye.
Oh,
that's
sorry.
fine.
Skeptalk said Casablanca.
No.
Do not ever touch that movie.
Nope.
That movie is perfect.
Nope. Don't touch the classics. The classics don't need to be touched. That's why they haven't remade Gone with the Wind. That's why they haven't remade Wizard of Oz. There are some things that do not need to be redone or quote unquote improved upon.
Mara said she wished they'd remake the Buffy movie. Last I heard, they are.
Oh, are they?
And Joss Whedon is still not involved.
Yeah. They're remaking Hellboy, for God's sakes.
Yeah. The Buffy one, I'm not sure where it stands, because that was news like 2 years ago or something. Because we are big Buffy fans in this house. I love the Buffy series, except maybe that last god-awful season. But Joss Whedon is such a good storyteller. He is very, very Shakespearean in his storytelling. Nobody gets to be happy for very long, which is how you tell really good drama. And the way he handled it with that series was just fucking awesome. So I would love to see a remake of Buffy with him doing it, where with his original vision, he didn't intend it to be as goofy as the original movie was.
Mm-hmm.
But again, he's not going to be really involved if he is doing it. So
no, he's in DC's penthouse for the next 5-7 years or something.
Well, the studio wouldn't let him be involved.
Well, that too, yeah.
Yeah. The best episode, the musical one. I love the Buffy musical, but I prefer the one where they can't talk.
Yeah.
The hell was the name of that one? I don't even remember. That one was so good. Let's turn it over to chat. I mean, we
apparently have been
more interactive. We've been more interactive than normal, but this is your question and answer period. Speaking of which, after this, if you guys want to chat with me, not voice chat, because I'll just be typing, but my Discord is in the link there, and after the show, I'll be in there for a while. And maybe we can talk these two into stopping by.
Maybe.
Hush. Yes, thank you, Lucky Seven. The name of that episode was Hush.
Yeah. Jacob says, Scribe, Todd McFarlane is making a low-budget Spawn movie. Well, good for Todd McFarlane. He hasn't been relevant since 1997, so. I don't know what to tell you. It's like, I mean, him and the other guys that defected from Marvel to go create Image, and just the shitstorm of crap they produced in the early days of Image, trying to outdo Marvel. And the only real books that really worked much at all was Spawn, maybe Shadowhawk. I mean, everybody was so excited for Wetworks to come out. When it finally came out, it was shit. Jim Lee was going to do Deathblow, and we're like, oh yeah, Deathblow. And then it came out, and it had like 3 issues, and then it died. Anyway, I could go on. Do you watch Angel Monkey? Peter asks.
I loved Angel. The first season was pretty good. It got a little slow around when they brought in his son, which I hated that kid. It's rare that I want a child or teenager to die, but I was praying for his death.
Yeah.
However, Angel is my favorite ending to any TV show ever. The way they ended it was fucking perfect. There was something. What do you think of Donnie Darko? I thought it was an interesting movie, but it's not something. I know people are very cultish with that movie. I'm not one of them.
I know lesbians like it, which is why I watched it.
I liked it. I appreciate it for the fact I can see why it is a cult movie, because it is very sort of convoluted. It does build its own mythology, which is always something that helps out making a movie a cult movie. I don't think it's, gangbusters excellent or anything, but I appreciate the amount of thought that went into it. Because if you watch the special features on the DVD and they go into some of the lore and everything else, it's like, okay, this wasn't just a one-off sort of movie for the guy who made this. This was like a passion project, which also kind of adds to the mystique of it.
Who was it? I want to get the name because I'm trying to do that better. FD Swayze asks, did anyone see the movie Split, and was it any good? I haven't seen it yet. You saw it, right, Scribe?
Yes, I watched it. It was very good. I won't say what it is. I had a aspect of it spoiled for me ahead of time, which didn't ruin the movie at all. But the performance is really good. It probably didn't need to be as long as it was, because it's at a certain point we're kind of like, okay, we get it kind of deal. But it was worth watching. Point asks, does liking Angel because it's a guy make you sexist?
For those of you who don't get that, that's a Steve Shives reference.
Yeah.
Him and his wife were talking about Buffy and Angel.
Let's see. The Sinister Mind asks, have you guys seen the movie Brick? I have seen Brick. It was a very interesting concept. You guys don't know what this is. This is it's essentially a noir murder mystery, starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt and a whole bunch of other actors, even Louis Gossett Jr. is in there.
Oh wow!
As the principal, I believe. Yeah, I know. But essentially, it's sort of like taking a noir mystery movie, but making the aesthetic a high school and high school students. But you make the dialogue sound like a hard-boiled detective mystery. It's very high concept, artsy movie, but it's an interesting watch.
Peterbilt Nation, Ranting Monkey, Scribe Light, Some Dumb Americans, Springtime Fresh Coochie. You always want the coochie springtime fresh. If it doesn't smell like freshly mowed lawn, walk away.
Fresh meadows, when you want the scent of turf.
Gross.
I don't understand the way you worded that question, BG.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. What was your most memorable you have gone on? You mean like trip, maybe, or something? I don't know. Enemy Mine, lose best movie. No. Iron Eagle. Iron Eagle. Chappie!
I know you're being facetious, but An Officer and a Gentleman is his best. He was fucking awesome in that movie.
I know.
It's why he got an...
I don't bring up Officer and a Gentleman because that's your territory.
I fucking love that movie. I haven't watched it in a while. I need to watch it again. SDA, what are you doing over there?
Nothing. Why?
Playing with yourself.
Because you've gotten kind of quiet.
I'm not playing with myself, Scribe. You be quiet.
Peter wants to know if he should spend his hard-earned cash on Wonder Woman. No, you should give that to me so I can go watch it.
Or at worst, just catch a matinee. I wouldn't pay full price myself.
None of us have actually seen it, have we? You still haven't seen it, right, Scribe?
No, I haven't. More likely than not, I won't. So I'm not going to be too down on it. I'll go off what I've heard from people that I trust and everything else. It's an entertaining film. They do the superhero thing much more superhero than a lot of other movies. The palette is far too dark in places with the Nolanization of things, but they at least lightened it up a little bit.
Yeah.
The ending I hear is pretty cheese, and I don't know what this. I'm more curious about what happens with Justice League. If Justice League doesn't work for DC and Warner, then the fate of the future of this shared universe of theirs is going to be in real question. Because Wonder Woman is a one-off, good for them. But they're doing their big team-up movie. This is their Avengers. If this doesn't do gangbusters, then yeah.
I think it's going to do well anyway, but it's the long, because Suicide Squad did when it opened. I want to see how it does like over the first 2 weeks.
Right, yeah. Jonakai asks, have you guys read or seen In the Name of the Rose? I have seen the movie a long time ago. And Christian Slater, when he was like a teenager, and what was it? Sean Connery was in there too, I believe, if I'm not completely off base. It's a very good movie. It's not talked about that much. The book, I'm sure, is much better. I've never read the book.
What's it about?
It's about medieval monks and
oh my god, we had to watch that piece of crap in history class. That was the biggest bore I've ever had to sit through.
Well, except for the part where the girl comes in to have sex with the young monk and she gets all naked. That was fun.
Rather watch fucking paint. Really, you can Google porn.
Not back then. I couldn't.
Yeah, well, now you can. So
that movie came out like 1985.
Well, you have no excuse anymore.
You're right. I guess I don't. What?
And thank you, Jonakai, for the donation there.
Yes.
What would you do for a Klondike bar? Adam asked that. I would go to the store and purchase one.
Yes. Scribe, why do you hate Jim Lee? I don't hate Jim Lee. I don't hate Jim Lee at all. I think Jim Lee's one of the best artists that Marvel ever had. He did some of the best Punisher work next to Mark Texeira. I'm just saying that Deathblow, his comic book for Image, had so much buildup and hype ahead of its debut that when it finally came out, it was underwhelming, and it didn't last. I think it only went for like maybe less than 10 issues before it just gave up the ghost or whatever. So it's not Jim Lee's fault. I'm sure there was a lot of problems at Image during those days, but I don't have anything against Jim Lee.
I know I saw another question there. Well then.
Lots of question marks, guys. Otherwise, we don't know. Favorite Marvel villain? Overall, I'd probably have to say Doctor Doom. I mean, oldie but a goodie. He's one of the most interesting bad guys ever because just like we were talking about earlier, it's like you may disagree with him, but he thinks he's being the good guy. He's protecting his country. He just thinks that he's the best person to rule the world. That's all. You know, everybody else is an idiot compared to him, and he's usually right. But you know,
I like Venom for his again. He thinks he's right. He has a very strict code of honor.
Yes, and he was one of the more interesting origin stories in Marvel lore. So yeah, Venom's a good one too. I think my go-to overall is probably Doctor Doom though, because he could be an ally or an enemy or a neutral party, all depending on the situation and whether or not whatever's going on touches upon his sense of honor and royal composure, which I always liked.
There's the question that I meant to answer. Zelthor, what would you think of a Knights of the Old Republic animated series? I think it would be great, but it's never going to happen because they have decided that's not part of the universe.
Well, that's not entirely true. In the Rebels TV show, they have made mention of many events that were only in existence in the KOTOR continuity, specifically the Jedi versus Mandalorian War. They brought back Malachor as a location, which was, as far as I understand, originally was a major plot point in KOTOR 2. There have been a whole lot of callbacks to elements from KOTOR. How much of KOTOR is now canon versus not, because they've only sort of talked about it in the abstract, is still hazy. However, there's nothing that says they couldn't take large chunks of that, because most of it doesn't relate directly back to expanded universe canon. I mean, there's actually only a few Easter eggs in KOTOR 1 and 2 that even touch upon anything that has to do with the expanded universe. So, yeah, it's entirely possible they could. I imagine, because in Rogue One, they make a point of doing this flyover of the fallen ruins on Jeddah of those giant Jedi statues, and how these temples, all this other stuff. They spend so much time establishing this location and the history about it, but then it all goes kablooey relatively quickly. I got to imagine that isn't some possible setup for a prequel, so to speak, a TV series or movie that goes through Knights of the Old Republic, featuring that location when it was in its glory days. Because it seems like they go into an awful lot of trouble to insert that into the lore where it wasn't before, not to make use of it again somehow.
Lady Monkey asked if we would prefer to have 3 wishes over 5 years or 1 wish right now.
3 wishes over 5 years.
3 over 5 years.
Well, when do I get that first wish? Because if I get the first wish right now, it would be insane not to take the 3 over 5.
Yeah.
Which video games have you guys completed 100%? Oh, God, a lot of them.
Most of the Zelda games for me.
100%. Well, of course, that implies a game that has a 100% completion component to it or something.
Well, yeah, I need to be specific there, because if you're talking about the ones like San Andreas, where you can finish the main storyline,
right,
but you're only at 50%, then not many, because I don't care about the 100%. I want the completion of the story.
There was one. What was it? Well, anyway, no. As far as I know, I've never done a game to full 100% completion. I've gotten far in a couple of things. And if you're talking about like Steam achievements and stuff like that, I've just about got all of the Skyrim achievements, but I haven't gotten them all. I think I might have gotten all the Postal ones though. Yeah. Anyway, I don't think I have, or at least if I have, it's been something that's relatively minor.
Call Me Oz has adjusted the question that my wife asked. How about 3 wishes in 5 years' time, or 1 wish right now?
Oh,
I would take 1 right now, because I could be dead in 5 years.
Can I wish for more wishes?
They always say no, which is fucked up.
I know. Well, if that was the case, I'd take probably the 1 wish right now, and it'd just be a bunch of money, and then I would invest it, and then I would just not worry about that shit anymore. I know what one of your wishes would be, Monkey, pretty much off the bat.
What's that?
Well, cunnilingus skills.
Oh, fuck you. That would be Lady Monkey's wish. I'm fine.
Now, you know, a removal of all physical injury and pain.
I actually wouldn't wish to be out of pain. I'm far too superficial for that.
Oh, okay, all right.
I would wish for like $20 billion.
Yeah. Okay.
And with $20 billion, you can make pain a lot better.
Oh, wish for Wolverine's healing factor, says Bill. Yes, that might be kind of cool. Yes, I'd take that, because I'd live for like 300 years or something.
Yeah, and then I'd just rob people because they can.
Just what we need. Really, really old Scribe.
Shut up, woman. Jesus. Holy cow. A midget manservant? No. Monkey would have a midget maid.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Yeah, and in the little French outfit and for the frilly little skirt.
Sweeper asked if we'd be watching No Bullshit Talk to Vegan Gains on his live stream this weekend. If I remember, and if I have time, I like No Bullshit, so I'd probably at least tune in for a little bit.
Jesse Green asked, did you like Garth Ennis, The Punisher run? Punisher Max is one of my favorite renditions of the Punisher, save for a couple of very individual comics from the original Unlimited series. I actually just reread my collection of the Punisher Max trade paperbacks last week, and I never have they gotten the Punisher so right than they did in that series. It was so good.
Borg Warner asked if we'll be doing a game/movie talk stream again. Even though we talk about movies and games a lot throughout the regular shows, I love when that is our stated purpose and we just go to town on it. So absolutely.
I think we need a bit more. If we're going to do it again, like as a dedicated thing, we need something. We need, at least in the beginning, a focused topic, genre, or something, because we could just go all over the place forever. But if we have something very specific that we're shooting for, then I think that'd be more productive, or at least less
a productive
humbling.
movie discussion.
Yeah.
Yes. You can. They have whole film theory.
I just rolled my eyes at you. By the way, you didn't see it.
Why don't you have a productive book discussion sometime at SDA?
No,
It's about the same thing.
They and I do that all the time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. So don't give us shit for doing essentially the same thing.
I mean, but I don't know that I would describe it as like productive. How?
Ranting Monkey Scribe favorite horror series. Well, I mean, like movies. No, Puppet Master.
Nice. The first 3 Nightmare on Elm Streets. I love them.
Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street's really good. God, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I can't really get away from the classics. So like the first 2 Halloweens, the first 3 or so Friday the 13th, and the first 3 Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, those are the ones I'd most consistently watch, I suppose.
Peter asked if I saw the midget breakdancing that he sent me on Twitter. I don't think so. I'll have to check that out.
I saw the one jumping off the dock. I think that was the last one I saw.
Oh, that was so excellent.
Oh, wait, no, the wet t-shirt contest or dancing girl midget, whichever one that was.
Oh, dude, there's a not safe for work spot on my Discord.
Yeah.
And somebody sent a picture of a naked female midget with long red hair. Oh, it's awesome. I know I've seen lots of question marks. I'm sorry, guys. I'm running back through here.
Actually, I take it back, the first 3 Halloween movies, because the third Halloween movie, Season of the Witch, is a classic.
I've still never seen it.
Oh my God. So it is so bad, but it is so, see, this is what I had thought was going to happen when that movie came out. I thought that it was like, okay, they did the Michael Myers thing in the first 2 movies. Then Season of the Witch has nothing to do with Michael Myers in any way, shape, or form. So I thought it was going to turn into an anthology thing. Like every year they'd come out with a new Halloween horror movie that's just based around that theme. But Season of the Witch just turns out to be the black sheep of the Halloween franchise. And it is odd and cheese, but it has one excellent element to its story. I won't tell you what it is. And it has one of the catchiest songs ever inside of the movie. So if you have a chance, definitely watch Season of the Witch. It's got a lot to offer.
Do you guys watch Preacher? I haven't seen it.
No, not yet.
It's one I'm interested in. I just haven't seen it yet.
I've read some of the comic books, but I haven't. I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm a gigantic fan. I've never been a collector of it or anything, and I haven't seen the TV series yet.
Would a midget even do a good job as a maid? My ideal job for a little midget woman, would be to get her shoes that have little rockers on her and stand in front of me and just smack her on the front of the forehead so she rocks back and forth against my dick.
Oh my God.
I don't know if that's actually a job, but that's what I want to do with one.
Well, if you wish for $20 billion, you can make it a job.
I know, I could. Green thumb or black thumb? I don't know what that reference is.
Green thumb is growing plants. I don't know what a black thumb is. Unless that's a racist thing.
Racist.
Does the carpet match the drapes on the midget? Actually, no. But that's okay. We can overlook that.
That's what shaving's for.
She keeps a tidy lawn.
Hardwood
What do you
floors.
guys think? What do you guys think of Killer Clowns from Outer Space? I've never seen it. A little
No.
too silly.
It's a cult cheese movie to watch with some friends or something. It's nothing.
And I have nothing against cheese movies like that. Like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes is one of my favorite movies ever.
Yeah.
And it's pure cheese. It's a stupid fucking movie.
That reminds me. I heard they're going to remake The Blob again, and I say only if it's all practical effects, like the 92 or 93 version of The Blob, which I love. I love that version of The Blob because it was scary as hell and it was mostly practical effects. So if they go CGI with it, fuck you. No, don't do it.
We're going to do last call because my nachos are getting really cold over here.
And I'm actually, I think I'm fighting a bit of a migraine right now myself. Last hour or so, my head's just been killing me.
So guys, any last minute questions, ask them now. And if you have suggestions or anything, don't forget that you can send stories to us on #MSS News. And you can hit me up on my Discord server. I will be in there off and on throughout the day most days, but I will definitely be there after shows and after I do a video.
And also hit that like button. Sinister Mind says, how about the movie called The Stuff? Ah, yes, The Stuff. That is a mostly forgotten but very entertaining horror movie from the 80s that has a bunch of social commentary about consumerism and product placement and everything else, but is also a creepy horror monster movie kind of thing. So, yeah, The Stuff's pretty good.
Nerdstain asks, are there any musicals that don't suck? There's lots of them that don't suck. A Chorus Line was really good. I really enjoy Grease, the original. The second one is just fucking awful, but it has Michelle Pfeiffer, and how can you not watch that?
Newsies.
Disney
Wicked
movies.
is amazing.
What?
Wicked.
Moulin Rouge, I still kind of like.
Moulin Rouge was great.
Yeah.
And it's even better if you get to actually go see these things in a theater. If you have a chance, go watch any of these, and they're awesome.
Yeah.
Would one of you scream into Scribe's headache? Well, since it's probably my fault in the first place, I'm not going to make it worse.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell. I usually don't get. It's not. It is a little bit of a migraine because my computer monitor, just looking at it, makes the pain spike a bit. So I don't know what's going on. I'm not dehydrated today. I'll drink some more water. Probably take some more time.
Little Shop of Horrors was also excellent.
Yes, especially the Steve Martin bits.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Do you know the movie Spaceballs? Of course.
Yes, of course.
We watched that in biology class.
That's right. Oh God.
What's wrong with Chucky? He's a possessed doll.
Child's Play 1 is awesome. The first Child's Play is great.
It is. Yeah, that's a really good one. They went cheese a lot faster than most franchises do.
I love the fact that I remember the character's name, Charles Lee Ray. He was a serial killer, and he's being chased by the cops. He's wounded. He's dying. He does a voodoo ritual to pass his soul into a doll. I remember the chant, "Adube Dambella, give me the power, I beg of you." I love that. Oh, that movie's so good.
Ranting Monkey, do you like Street Fighter? I never really liked fighting games because I suck at them. We discussed this the other day. I want to like them, but it's hard to like something that you just get destroyed at. Ranting Monkey, favorite type of cheese? Spray cheese.
Barf.
Okay.
I'm tired.
And that seems like a good place to wrap it up.
SDA cracks the whip and the stream ends.
Chat, thank you guys for coming. I love you guys. You're awesome. I will be in the Discord server. Link is below.
I'll be there too.
Sweet.
I'm probably going to be nursing this headache, but I'll try. How long are you guys going to be on there?
Well, last week, Monkey and I were on there for a while.
Okay.
It'll depend on how long I can type.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna take some Tylenol and sit in the dark for a little bit. If my headache starts going away, I'll try to pop in a little bit later.
Okay.
Scribe, SDA, as always, thank you so much. Guys, your life makes me sad. See you next time.
Bye, guys.